Okay, so our Haroutioun and Elizabeth Kasparian Summer Academy program is a 1-week program for high school students. Generally, high school seniors, I believe high school juniors participate in our program. It is 1 week in August. There are 2 sessions, and as you can see on the screen, the dates, August 4th through the 8th. And also, it's cut off for me, I apologize, but the following week. And so it's an intensive program where high school students get to experience, one, what is Washington, D.C. like? Number 2, building, again, that sense of community amongst each other. Armenians from Los Angeles, Ohio, New Jersey, all coming together to understand what is the core work of Hai Tahd. And then branching out and learning how to advocate on those issues in Congress. But also, as folks are thinking about college, what areas can they focus on? What areas can they develop their skills and leadership and academia in? And so we help by introducing individuals, whether it's to former ambassadors or folks who work at the State Department, to expose our high school seniors to the world of possibilities that exists as they're entering a new academic field in college. It's also a great resume builder for those who are doing their college applications to say that they came to a program in Washington, D.C. that helps enrich their knowledge on public policy and civic engagement. One of the key factors for our academy program is housing. All of our interns live together at the Yerimyan house. The Yerimyan house, which we'll show photos in a minute, is a 8-bedroom bed and breakfast that the ANCA purchased years ago, about 9 years ago. And it is center and core to all of our programs. Our fellows and interns live in this home together, and it helps, again, build that community. It is centered in DuPont Circle, which is central to DC, and it's about a 13-minute walk. I know those are from California. We don't walk a lot. I'm also from California, but it is a 13-minute quick walk to the ANCA headquarters in DuPont Circle. And that's a part of our community. As you can see, these photos in front of you, our policy director, Alex Galitsky, some of our gateways, enjoying a Thanksgiving dinner that they've created together, that they've cooked together in the Yerimyan kitchen, playing the guitar. Really, the Yerimyan home is a center for Armenian professionals in Washington, D.C., and people get together and hang out and sing Armenian songs, dance. But it is a core part of our community here. And so all of our program participants live in that house together for that week for the academy, and they participate in programs that the ANCA as staffers we would do, meeting individuals that we talk to and work with here in Washington, D.C., including individuals like Charlie Madesian at Politico, including individuals like the ambassador as the permanent representative of Artsakh, different individuals, all individuals who help build ideas and impact in our community, but also can help you in your future in college. And so as you see on the screen here, some photos of program participants doing an advocacy day on Capitol Hill. And these individuals, like we said, learn how to speak about the policy issues that the ANCA puts forward. This prepares our high school students for preparing to speak at ASA meetings in the future, whether it's on their campuses at high school or their college campuses to come when they are actually starting their programs in college. Okay. Moving forward to the ANCA Leo Sarkisian internship program. The Leo Sarkisian internship program is our longest standing program. It is a 6-week intensive program that individuals, again, live at the Yerimyan house, but are individuals who are looking to hone in on their skills, whether it's in public policy, media relations, or anything else, but are looking to learn how to become strong advocates for the Armenian nation. Now, I'm going to preface with saying this. for any of our programs, it does not matter what major or what career you are looking to go into. These are meant for everyone. And let's go back to that building of community. We are looking for individuals who want to learn how to have the Hai Tahd lingo, how to talk about the issues that are going on in Artsakh, how to advocate for these, for the right of return, to advocate for issues that are important to our community, and how to talk about them, whether it's with family or with coworkers or with fellow students or professors. The idea is you're concerned about these issues, that you want to take action and learn how to take that action, or what actions are there to make. Some of the folks who are in this photo that are in front of you are computer software developers. They're statisticians. They're architects. They're not policy individuals per se, but they all have a home in Hai Tahd. And that's the beauty of these programs, that you don't have to be just a public policy major or international relations major. Everyone fits into these programs. It is about your desire to actually take action and learn how to build your community back home to build upon that action. So Leo Sarkisian program is a fantastic way. I'm a former Leo Sarkisian intern. I'm alumnus, so I'm a little biased on how amazing it is. But it is true to say that you do make lifelong friends on the Leo Sarkisian internship. I'm still in touch with all 5 interns from my class. And I know that is this, many on this call who are going to speak a little later have a similar story and similar experience. It's just the type of program that it is. It builds on the experience of our other 2 programs for youth, for those who are not college graduates, including the academy program. It builds on your abilities and public speaking skills to talk about issues related to Armenia and Artsakh. It also builds on your community building skills. And there are enrichment seminars that vary in style, from career related to like resume workshops to actual discussions with international development agents who talk about their work in foreign countries and how they built projects around the world. So it varies. But the intention is that during every enrichment seminar, that individuals are gaining experience and knowledge at the different facets of life beyond college. And so it helps individuals navigate, what careers am I going to look at? What jobs am I going to look at? And it's a fantastic resume builder. There are individuals who have used their experience in Leo Sarkisian to apply for jobs right after, and have parlayed that experience that they had as an intern as real life experience for their job that they were applying for. And that can apply for scheduling, that can apply for writing briefings and memos on Capitol Hill. The intention of the ANCA when we have interns is not for them to do data entry and Excel sheets. It's for them to build projects. It's for them to shadow our staff and for them to actually utilize their education and their interest alongside the work that we do. So each one of our interns is assigned to a staffer, and they work on critical projects that are used by our staff, by our organization on a daily basis. One thing that y'all are seeing in front of you are kind of the different elements that we provide. And as we go through these photos, I'll kind of point those out. But remember that walk I was talking about? These are the interns walking from the house to the office. And again, the interns live at the house together. They cook together a lot of the time, and they spend a lot of time together. They meet with members of Congress, and they build campaigns. So this campaign that you see in front of you right now, where our interns decided it was important to discuss the prisoners of war, specifically the 8 prisoners of war that are held captive by Azerbaijan, who are political leaders of Artsakh. So they created a campaign where they screened the photos onto their t-shirts. They built this poster, and they went office to office, 535 offices, educating members about these prisoners and pushing for actions. And then that evening, there was here you can see the Congressman Anna Eshu, one of the Armenian and now the only Armenian member of Congress, speaking to our youth about their actions and how she's taken part in her work on Armenian issues. But at the end of the day, there was a lobbyist, Azerbaijani lobbyist, who was going to do a briefing with the ambassador. And they stood outside of that briefing room. And as staffers came into that briefing room, took the opportunity to educate them as they walked in, handing out paperwork and taking an opportunity to talk to anyone who would talk to them about our POWs. And again, that comes from having that training in public speaking and understanding how to talk about these issues comfortably. So while our interns are in town, they meet the hotshots of DC. And so, from media to politicians to ambassadors, there's a whole slew of individuals and people and places that our interns interact with, get to talk to. And then because because the ANC has built trust with these individuals, and all of these individuals believe in the quality of the folks that we have brought in, they offer them internships and job opportunities. So it is very intertwined. What you see in front of you right now on your top right of the screen, Keith Nahikian, who is Bigwig Media. And Bigwig Media helped with the Trump transition team during the first administration. That team, the Nahikian brothers, are phenomenally large in media and strategy and political strategy in Washington, D.C., and extremely well respected. And the fact that they take in our interns and fellows every year to talk to them, show them around their media studios, it's very important. It's a key part of their time, but they do it with pleasure because they know how important it is to build our youth. Now, in addition to all the important things that we do and the hardcore lobbying, you absolutely have a lot of fun. And so whether it's soccer games, baseball games, or protests or picnics, whatever is taking place in the community at that moment, our interns are a part of it. So that summer is curated as a wholesome summer. We're not looking to work everyone to the bone. We actually want you to experience the DC Armenian community. We want you to be able to go to New York if there's an opportunity to go to New York and participate in a program there. If Art Links is going on, or if Hamazgain is hosting an event, we partner with them to make sure that our interns are joining those events taking place, whether it's during the week or during the weekend. And so it is meant for you to have fun. And we want you to have fun in Washington, D.C., because we want you to come back. So I hope that at this point, whether you're in high school or you're in college, and if I didn't mention that Leo Sarkisian is for college students, it is for college students, that you have something that engaged you, that piqued your interest. But I do also understand that for a lot of people, it's a big commitment to fly out to Washington, D.C. for 6 weeks. And sometimes for those who aren't in high school, who are in college, it's a abrupt kind of commitment. So we developed what's called the ANCA Rising Leaders Program. It is a 3-day intensive leadership program. And yes, it is meant to build your leadership skills. Yes, you have a lot of seminars squeezed into 3 days, and you do lobbying and advocacy. But what's key about this is that it's 3 days. And it gives you that taste of Washington, D.C. It gives you a taste of our programs. It gives you a taste of our career development programs, especially. And the reason we do this is for those who, again, have hesitation or aren't sure, or actually want the leadership building skills, but maybe aren't have other plans and don't want to do a full 6-week internship. The Rising Leaders Program is a great medium. It gives you a good boot camp course, but it does it in a short amount of time. Now, with all 3 of the programs so far that we've talked about, Two things I haven't mentioned because I was leaving it to the end, but I'll start mentioning this, are networking opportunities and headshots. So networking opportunities, a really dirty word. I love networking. And because networking gives you an opportunity to meet so many people. And what you see in front of you are people reading people. And so it gives you an opportunity to meet professionals and individuals who are like-minded, near your age, who are peers, who are looking to, again, service the nation, but are also professionals, senior professionals who are also looking to help young people move forward in their careers. So it's a key opportunity to meet individuals. And then headshots. I don't know about your LinkedIn profile, but if you don't have a professional headshot done, the ANCA will help you curate one. And so throughout all of our programs, we take the time to do professional headshots for all of our program participants. We think it's important, and it's a service that we like to provide. Now, while these photos come through and we get to the next program, I want to note that the folks that you're seeing talking to individuals, these are a lot of them are program alumni. And I want to say how proud we are of our program alumni, because our program alumni are always ready to serve and pay it forward. Our Hovig Saghdejian Capital Gateway program has a alumni committee and a board that helps run that program. We also have the Congressional Armenian Staffers Association, who aren't all program participants of the ANCA, but are all individuals who, from a professional standpoint, want to help see young professionals, young Armenian Americans, succeed on Capitol Hill. So in partnership, we work together in order to be able to maximize the exposure all program participants have in Washington, D.C. So again, these individuals become contacts. These individuals become resources to all of you through our programs. In addition to that, again, alumni, CASA members, Armenian American professionals who are in Washington, D.C. are always ready to help. And so they participate in that bandwidth, in that band, to be able to help, whether it's curate a resume or cover letter or give advice on how to curate your LinkedIn. These individuals help. You'll meet them throughout any one of our programs, and they're always here to help. Now, the ANCA Hovig Saghdejian Capital Gateway Program is our second longest standing program. It was established in 2001, and it is our turnkey program. The Capital Gateway program is meant for college graduates at any and all levels. So whether you have a bachelor's degree, whether you have a law degree and you're barred, whether you are in between degrees, but just as long as you have graduated in some capacity and want to work and begin to build your career or continue your career, the Hovig Saghdejian program is here for you. We like to say that our fellows, their job is to find a job. Our job as the ANCA is to provide every single resource possible to make that happen. Okay, and so how do we do this? How does the Hovig Saghdejian program work? How is the Capital Gateway program successful? First and foremost, I'm going to hound on this, but housing. 3 months of free housing under the program. It is difficult to transition to Washington, D.C. for a multitude of reasons. A, some of you may have never moved away from home before. B, you may have moved out, you may have gone to a dorm, but you may have stayed close to home. For some of you, you don't have an Armenian community by you. So it's difficult to transition. Some of you come from a deep Armenian community and have never met anyone or have anyone out here in Washington or on the East Coast. The transition is difficult from a emotional and personal level, but it's also an expensive city to move into. And so in order to offset some of that cost, some of those hurdles, it's absolutely free housing at the Armenian House for the first 3 months. Again, you have those enrichment seminars, twofold. One, careers-based, two, professional development-based. For at least 2 weeks, you will have enrichment seminars where our alumni committee, Capital Gateway Alumni Committee, is working with you on your resume, tearing it up and rebuilding it word for word to fit whatever industry and whatever job you're trying to find, and help you understand that DC resume that you are trying to build in order to find a job successfully. Rebuilding your cover letter, writing and rebuilding, showing you the elements, teaching you the elements of a successful cover letter and how to build it. This is not AI. This is all personal, and we make it very personal to make sure that you're successful. Your LinkedIn, from a headshot to every word that's going in your LinkedIn, to your connections and how to write appropriate thank you letters and connection requests, and how to not only build your network, but how to utilize our networks and how to ask us individually, whether it's from the ANCA or our partners, to connect you to individuals that we're connected to. Mentors. Every single Capital Gateway fellow is paired with a mentor from their industry. And 99% of the time, we definitely have someone in Washington that we know of who is in that industry. And so your mentors are active with you. You need to be active with them, and they're there again, goal-oriented to help you find a career here in Washington. And you are in the office. You are in an office environment. We open up our office space at the ANCA office for you to make sure that if you have an interview, you have a clean space, clean and professional space to take that interview from. That you have an strong internet connection to take that interview from, and that you're set up for that. Secondly, interview prep, mock interviews. We are constantly doing mock interviews for our gateways. You bring an example of a job you're seeking, and we tailor that interview to that job. If this sounds boot campish, it is, because look, again, our job is to help you provide you all the resources possible for you to be successful in finding a job. Your job is to find a job. And so we take our job seriously as long as you take yours. A couple of other things, networking opportunities. We will set up networking events for you to participate in. And so once a month already, the ANCA hosts a mixer. So third Friday of the month, every month, the ANCA is hosting a mixer. But in addition to that, we will host special networking events for our gateways and fellows, whether it's at the office, whether it's at the house. Again, we curate it so that we can help you gain traction here in Washington, D.C. and be successful in your endeavor to build or continue your career. And here are some examples and some of our CGPAC members. Arsen, Tade, Celine, individuals who are in business, in consulting, individuals who are with the State Department, who are on Capitol Hill in senior positions, who are USAID and Peace Corps. Again, a whole slew of individuals in different professions, in different capacities, and at different seniority levels. You will meet individuals, and we make sure that they're involved at every level of their career, whether they're a first-year staffer on Capitol Hill or they're a 7-year staffer in Washington, D.C., as a senior legislative as an LD, legislative director, or a business development agent for a consulting firm. Doesn't matter. We make sure that there is a multitude of individuals involved, so that you have an individual you can, or a group of folks that you can turn to. And these are some of our mixers and our current gateways. We mentioned those headshots. They're important. And so here's some of the examples of our headshots for our Gateway Fellows. They're stunning individuals, both inside and out, and extremely successful. So we do boast a high success rate. Again, the goal is for you to hopefully find a job within those 3 months. And we keep track of that. So every week you are submitting reports to the Capital Gateway Program Committee to telling them, how many jobs have you applied to? What difficulties have you had? And how can we help? And so it really is, this program is not all right, I'm here for 3 months. What am I going to do? We follow up. We make sure that we are helping you, but that you're also staying on track, and you're motivated to stay on track. And I'm going to go back to the housing and how important that is, because the individuals in your program, the Capital Gateway alumni, the CG PAC, the alumni who are involved in the program, the day-to-day of the program, and the staff are here for you, not just professionally, but that emotional part of, I didn't get that job. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? We're really there as your sounding board, but we're all there as a support system for you. And that's really important. Again, Washington is not an easy city. It is a pay your dues city. You can be coming here with a master's degree and still expected to take an internship. And that can be hard. And so that's an important factor. The social support system is an important factor, and we value that. And we value being a part of your journey here in Washington, D.C. It's important to us. And we hope that you also value it as you think about your mission here. Now, we are still accepting applications for our winter gateway. And so please keep that in mind. Believe the deadline is end of January. I'm going to check. And bear with me. Yes, so we are still accepting taking applications. Our winter CGP program will begin on January 13th. And then we'll start a spring session on March 3rd, which will be a full 12 weeks of the Capital Gateway program. So again, there are multiple opportunities in 2025 to have to participate in the Capital Gateway program. You can coordinate it with when you're graduating. You can also coordinate it with end of LSATs or something else that you're looking forward to taking. This concludes the amount of talking I need to do in order for you to hopefully have a grasp of the magnitude of our programs. And again, we start at 16, and we go all the way through graduation of all sorts. So the ANCA is here in service to our youth, and we're here to make sure that you have all the resources that you need to be successful in your endeavors, both in our community and professionally. So thank you for your time and your attention, and I look forward to all your questions.
All right. Thank you, Tereza. Thank you for the presentation. Now we will continue on with the webinar, but just a reminder, if you have any questions, please make sure to submit them in the chat and send them over to Yerimyan. On that note, hi everyone, my name is Nareg. I'm the programs coordinator here at the ANCA. And now that we're done with Tereza's presentation, we will move on to our small little panel discussion with our previous program participants. So we're very, very lucky to be joined by some of our program alumni who are here to talk about their experience, how the programs help them, and just give you an insight as to how the programs are and what you would be able to experience as prospective participants. So let's quickly introduce our panelists here. And Richie, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself first?
Definitely. Hi, everyone. I'm Richard Manassian. Yeah, I did the Capital Gateway program in 2021. What do you want me to say what I'm doing now? Or
yeah, of course, go ahead.
Okay. I work for the U.S. Agency for International Development in the Humanitarian Bureau. I've been there 3 years, coming up in January, so very excited about that. And I got to meet everyone, all the panelists on this call from that program, so I'll pass it back over.
Great. Let's move on to Areni.
Thanks, Nareg. Hi, everybody. I'm Armenian Margosyan. I did the CGP program in the fall of 2017. I'm still in DC. I currently work at the American Bar Association Rule of Law Initiative. I'm a program manager there. If I didn't say I work in international development, that's the kind of work I do. And we work in the Middle East. We work all over the world, but my division is in the Middle East. And I love the work that I do and love the Gateway program. So thanks for having me. Back to you, Nareg.
Thank you. Natalia, do you want to go ahead?
everyone, my name is Natalia Matosian. I was a Leo Sarkisian intern in the summer of 22, and then I loved it so much that I came back that same fall for the Capital Gateway program. I am currently a scheduler at the U.S. House of Representatives for Congresswoman Judy Chu of California.
Great. Thank you, Natalia. Let's move on to Nare.
Hi everyone, my name is Nairi Sayan. I'm a current sophomore in Syracuse University, but I did Summer Academy in 2021. I did Rising Leaders in 2022, and this summer I most recently did Leo Sarkisian, and we'll probably be back for Capital Gateway, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Nare. And finally, Mary.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mary, and I did ANCA Rising Leaders in March of 2024. So I'm a pretty recent member. I'm a transfer student, and I'm a business administration student at College of the Canyons. Nice to meet you all.
Great. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll begin with questions that we have, and then we'll slowly start asking you questions from the audience. So our first question will be for Richie and Arini. Since you guys both work in development, and can you share with us what the Capital Gateway program experience was like, and what were the most memorable aspects of your time in the program?
I don't know if you wanted to go first. I don't know, but
I was going by the same order as the introduction. So
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. That's my bad. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I hold this program in such high value because if you want to hit the road running, like this is it. Like you're just getting out of college, you're just graduating, you are like, I can't promise it, but you cannot fail if you put in the effort and the action. Like everything is kind of handed to you on like a platter in terms of you got your resume, you got your cover letter, you got your interviews, you got your headshots. Everything that Tereza said, like it's almost guaranteed that like you will find your way, and it's such a good learning experience, not just for your career, because that's the most important thing, but I personally think it's a great learning experience for yourself, like figuring out what you want to do, where you want to go, your ambitions, your interests, what you don't like. And I hold this in high regard. So I don't know if you had anything.
Yeah, in terms of my experience, my program director at the time actually was Tereza. I came in a recent graduate out of college. I hadn't planned on applying, but it was in the summer. It was like maybe 2 weeks before the applications were due. I got a text from Tereza. She was like, "Where's your application?" It's like, okay. So I sent it in. I moved to DC. I mean, I got in. I moved to DC, and just. I don't know if it's coming off, but like I'm a nervous person. I'm not very good at the interviews and all of that stuff. So the program really, like I needed the program. It really helped me. I got my job through like doing you're in the ANC office 8 hours a day until you find your job. Like what Tereza said, your job is to find a job, like find your place in DC. And until I did that, like I was in the ANC office, like applying. I found an internship that turned into a job, and then it went from there. So I don't know, I guess the rest is history. In terms of most memorable experience, I don't have anything like specific, maybe, but like I just remember one day I was just exhausted. I took a part-time job to make ends meet a little bit. I was just exhausted, like the day had worn me out, and I have a baptized name that's different than my first name and my middle name. And I was just like sitting, and then I decided to share this name with people earlier in the program. And then just to cheer me up, there was two like people in the program at the time. They started dancing around me, like chanting that name. So it's those like small little moments that you can't really quantify or put into a neat little statistic that kind of just make life worth living. That's what sticks in my head. I actually still have the video of it, and I watch it from time to time. So yeah.
Awesome. That does sound very nice and does sound very Armenian, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Another question for you two. So what did you gain from the program personally and professionally?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start off with personally. Again, like I mentioned, it's really a way to find out who you are. I know we go through college, and that's the place where you get to learn a lot about yourself, but this is where you really are independent, but you have a team on your back. So you get to fail so much with your resume, with your cover letter, with your interviews. You just learn so much how you personally can navigate your professional career. And there's so many opportunities to do that. So many people to talk to. There's a lot of Armenians that I didn't realize were in DC and that are so eager and interested to help the young Armenians, the youth. That's it for now. I'll probably say something else, but Auden, you can go.
Yeah, I second everything you said in terms of personal growth. There's a lot. It's a 3-month program, so the pressure is on for you to find a job in 3 months. But like anybody knows, in reality, it is harder to find a job in like if you get a job in 3 months, like amazing. But the time takes longer than that usually. So to be able to like persevere past that and then like move past like rejection letters or not, or even being ghosted from different opportunities, but relying on the support system that you have, like you really, really learn about yourself and kind of just push through and grow as an individual, like not take things personally. And then in terms of professionally, like I didn't know anything about what DC offered. When I came in, I was like, oh, I want to work at a think tank or foreign service, just because I didn't know what there was. I knew generally I wanted to work in like this international sphere. I didn't know what that was. And think tank because like all I had known in college is like writing research papers. But there's a whole world of opportunities in DC beyond what you might know going in. So like being exposed to that is also really valuable.
I actually did want to say something else. A little bit more about me. I came in to CGP. I graduated college with a marketing degree, business. I just honestly, I'm not ashamed to say it. I just applied to college and I was like, oh, business, cool. Yeah. And then I moved on. Then went 4 years later and I was like, you know what? Like, I've always wanted to help people. I don't want to just press buttons on a laptop and push papers at a regular company. And I'm not making it seem like those people that do that are bad, but I want to do something more. And I really think this is a great opportunity, again, to learn more about yourself and understand how you can navigate into finding the career that you will ultimately make your life. So again, like Tereza said, it's not just you have to be so political, like heavy focused. You can really find any avenue in DC.
All right, thank you, Richie. Thank you, Areni. Let's move on with our questions, and our next set of questions are for Natalia. So Natalia, you've taken part in a few of our programs, and you were, of course, Leo Sarkisian intern. So can you describe to us what the experience was like, and what were some of the key tasks and activities that you were involved in as an intern?
Yeah, definitely. The Leo Sarkisian internship was awesome. I know it's geared towards college students, but I did it the summer after I graduated from college. So I wanted to get a little bit of a better sense of like the policy world and what Washington, D.C. has to offer. So when I was doing the internship, they had us doing all sorts of things, but the two main things that we were doing that I was doing, we were taking turns going to Capitol Hill and advocating on issues. And we would have anywhere from like 2 to 10 meetings every single day. And that was such an amazing experience. And that's actually what made me fall in love with Capitol Hill and want to pursue a career in it. And I'm forever grateful for that. And the second task that I had personally was I endearingly say that I was Tereza's personal assistant, but I was scheduling meetings between the ANCA and congressional staffers. So the meetings that we were taking to advocate, I was emailing back and forth to schedule those during that 6-week program. And I used the experiences that I got from that task particularly in all of my interviews that I was having for scheduling positions, and ultimately what I was my main talking point for the interview for my current role. So those were our like main tasks. We also had the opportunity to like tie in our own interests into the work that we were doing. So I have an environmental science background, and we were all able to write op-ed. So I chose to write mine on like sustainability initiatives in Armenia. So I thought that was really cool that we were able to tie in our own interests into the internship as well.
And awesome. So building on to that, how did the internship contribute to your like professional growth and development as a young professional?
Yeah, definitely. Well, like Tereza said, headshots are so important. I was using my LSI internship headshot for like 2.5 years afterwards. So definitely a really great outcome of the program, but just the experiences were so helpful. I used the tasks and the things that I learned and the insights that I gained in every single interview that I had after the program. And I got my job because of it. Like, not to sugarcoat it, but the experiences just really helped get me into this world. And also the network was super, super valuable. While I was doing the Leo Sarkisian internship, I met a gentleman that ultimately got me my first internship on the Hill and set my career path forward. So that was really, really great. And I like owe my current career to this program.
All right, that's great. Thank you, Natalia. So now we have questions to Nare. So Nare, you've done 3 out of 4 of the programs that the ANC offers. So can you share how they differ from one another and what they have in common? And what were like some of the key takeaways that you got from each program?
Absolutely. So in 2021, as I think going into my senior year, I did summer academy. And my friends from summer academy in 2021 are still some of my best friends, like to this day. Even though we stayed in together, the internship was about a week long. We got so incredibly close, especially because in New York, there's less of an Armenian community. You have to really search for it. And this was such a good way of really bringing everyone together. You really build advocacy skills. I know when I was in summer academy, I met my Congresswoman Grace Meng for the first time, and that was an incredible experience because not a lot of 16-year-old kids are going to go into their congresswoman's office and talk about Armenian issues. To the point where I did LSI and I was so prepared to go up to her because I already had the experience from just a week of summer academy. In Rising Leaders, like Tereza said, it's very intense. I think Rising Leaders was more focused on professional development, whereas Summer Academy was more like, oh, here's the world of policy and here's what DC can offer. Rising Leaders was like, it was a lot of you meet a lot of people, we have a lot of seminars, and it was more geared towards professional development, like elevator pitches, but you still had the opportunity to go and lobby on the Hill. So it's everything that we did in Summer Academy, but a little more intense and condensed. And I think Rising Leaders, you build really good connections really quickly, because these people are about to get into their professional careers. So whoever you're doing your program with now, in 3 to 5 years, can you see them working in like somewhere really interesting or cool, like Arani or Richie, something like that, where it's like, oh wow, maybe this is a good connection for the future, and you build community in that way as well. And then LSI. LSI was very unique. It's a 6-week long program, and there's so many different factors. There's so many moving parts in LSI. First of all, lifelong friends, just like Summer Academy, because of the reality of living with the people you're working with, is very unique and very special. I think you work with a member of the ANCA team specifically on ANCA related issue. I worked with Saghdejian on COP29, and and another LSI member, Mane, were able to create like very, very cool, informative videos with the help of Ngernerses that ANCA went on to posting on their Instagram, educating people about COP29 and doing research. We did presentations on a topic of our choice. We wrote for the Armenian Weekly, so you get a publication straight away, which is also really important. Headshots are always amazing. While Nairi was like scrolling through the slides, I was getting very, very nostalgic. And then it's good to know that the ANCA doors are always open even after the conclusion of LSI. I was recently in DC and paid everyone a visit. So that just, all the programs are special. I suggest all of them, and they've all helped me become the person I am today because I started so young.
Yeah, thank you, Nade. She was actually at the office a few weeks ago, and it's always a great time when she's around. So thank you, Nade. And let's move on to our final panelist, Mary, who is the president of College of the Canyons ASA. So Mary, first of all, you participated in the Rising Leaders program. Can you share with us what you were able to accomplish in a short span of time, 3 to 4 days, is the program's duration?
Yeah, of course. Well, mine is the ANCA Rising Leaders is pretty short, but it was so intense, as Nada mentioned, that you learn so much. I went into this program. I went in without any political knowledge, nothing. I hadn't done nothing in advocacy before, and I came out with so much knowledge that I spread it around. And a lot of the projects that I do at my school has to do with advocacy. So I think the most that I got out of was passion for Armenia and for hometown, and how much I wanted to contribute and be part of the part of the Armenian community. That we restarted our church program and did a lot of other things. So I think networking and the connections that I've built after, I still am in contact with the other ANCA Rising Leader members, and have built a lot of connections after that. So wherever I go, they kind of have seen me through the ANCA social media pages. So that's what I got out of it. Of course, the educational seminars were the biggest part of what I took out of that. The seminars were so extensive, so much information. I still have the notes that I've taken. Sometimes I review them just so that if I go somewhere, I give out accurate information. So the amount of the education was immense, and I'm very happy to have been part of that.
Okay, a follow-up question to that. Do you feel like the program helped you gain a new skill or a new, let's say, piece of knowledge in such a short duration of time?
Of course. I think the leadership skills, team building, and quick thinking were some of the things that I gained out of that, especially the team building exercise done. I think it was the second day. We had to present we had to pretend like we were presenting to different delegates. And that was my favorite exercise because we had less than 10 minutes to prepare an entire presentation. And the knowledge was so much that we had to learn it in a short period of time. And I like challenge, so that was my favorite moment. And that was a skill that I took away from the program.
All right, thank you, Mary. And now a question to all 5 of you. Since you all stayed at the house or spent a lot of time at the house, can you describe what the Armenian house was like? I mean, we can start with any one of you.
I mean, I can start. The Armenian house is a home away from home. It's a community. It is, I can't even describe it. There's just a feeling when you're in the house, and everyone that's on this call probably feels the same. No matter where you are in the 8 rooms, it's just amazing to be together with a community, and you'll know that the Armenian community is waiting for you in that house in the middle of DC every single time. It's just so special, and I hope every one of you gets to experience it at one point or another.
I had a blast. I had a blast. I loved Armenian House. My brother did summer academy this summer, and the only thing I could talk about was the Armenian House. But it was a great, it was so calming. It felt like home. I had one more thing that I wanted to say, but I had a great time. Armenian House, it was my favorite part, another favorite part, but it was a great experience. Everyone were sitting around, playing guitar, singing, dancing, eating food. It was a wonderful experience.
I will say there's something really special about living with people that are in the same circumstance as you. So whether you're doing the same internship or you're all looking for a job, it's just a nice way to bond and you get really close to the people that you live with. I'm still best friends with my roommates from CGP and really close to the people that I did Leo Sarkisian with. So it's really, really special.
I agree with everything that's been said. I'm going to go back to what I said earlier about like the experiences and everything from it is just those unquantifiable moments, the things that you just can't reduce down to statistic. It's they become the family you choose. It is the home away from home. It's everything that you remember from your experience in DC. At the end of the day, it's not the job, it's the Armenian House and the ANCA.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you to all five of you. This was really, really great. Thank you for giving us a bit of insight regarding your experiences and what it's like to live in DC and what it's like to live at the house. This was absolutely incredible, and we're really, really thankful to have you. We do have a few questions from the audience members. So we have one question. Could I participate in the Leo Sarkisian internship this summer after I graduate university, or is it restricted to university students? This summer after you graduate university, you can still apply to the Leo Sarkisian internship. It obviously is not just restricted to people who still have a few semesters left. If you just graduated from university, you can most definitely apply. We have a question, and I'm going to leave this question up to the panelists. What were the day-to-day responsibilities like for a rising leaders and LSI participant? Were they challenging or manageable? So, Nade, do you want to go ahead, and then we'll
Yeah,
move
I
on.
can talk about for LSI. I guess I can talk about both actually. But LSI is like a true internship. You wake up in the morning, 9 a.m. you're in the office, you work until around 5, 6 p.m. You probably have some sort of ANCA event to attend later in the night. So always very busy. And then the next day there's some sort of trip to New Jersey to go visit an Armenian church. So LSI is very, very busy. Weekends are busy, but then you get to go home to the Armenian house and everyone that you're spending these long days with, you get to cook a dinner with and just watch a movie and chill out. So that's really nice. It feels like a home. Rising leaders, because it's only 3 days, we did less work and more seminars and just education. So we learned a lot, and I think we had fun trying to get to know each other. Everyone's trying to network, and then you go home with a bunch of new friends. So, but LSI is more work heavy, I think, day to day. And Rising Leaders is more seminars, quick learning, resume building, things like that.
And actually, may I chime in on this one, Nareg?
Yes, of course.
Of course.
So for the folks who are talking about manageability on this, it really depends on kind of the context you're looking at. So as the LSI from an eon ago who took her LS books with her with the expectation of staying on this internship, that is an unrealistic expectation. So you are not going to be able to balance, let's say, an LSAT prep while being a Leo Sarkisian. But as a Leo Sarkisian, you know, the workload that you're given is manageable and it's impactful. So you as an individual will gain a multitude of experience and skills as a Leo Sarkisian, but I wouldn't necessarily couple it with something else if you were thinking, oh, would I be able to study for something or take a course in addition to being a Leo Sarkisian intern? It is a full-time gig. so to say, while you're an intern that summer.
Great. And Mary, do you want to chime in as a previous Rising Leaders participant?
Yeah, sure. So the ANCA Rising Leaders, as Nara mentioned, is more on educating the people who are there, the program members. So we didn't get to do a lot of like organization or any kind of anything. We were there to be educated more. Of course, we had the opportunity to go to Capitol, and that was a very eye-opening moment for me, because it's so large and there's so much that's going on in the political world that you might not be aware of. And it was a very eye-opening opportunity for me. But yeah, it was more like seminar-based and workshop-based than opportunity-based.
Great. Thank you, Mary. We have one more question, and we have someone asking me, how do we apply for the summer program? I'm going to be sending you guys the link to all our programs so you can check them out and you can apply, of course. So the link is in the chat. It's anca.org/youth. You could go and read about the programs and apply if there's anything that you think you'd want to participate in. And with that, we can wrap up the questions. Nairi, I leave the floor to you.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll of course send a follow-up note thanking you all for joining and including any links to the different programs so you can refer to those and spread the word far and wide. If you took anything from this, we ask that you please share it along so that we can ensure that everybody has the opportunity to know what programs are being offered. If there are no further questions, we bid you good night and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We look forward to your applications.